All right, we've got a Honda ATC, unknown year. If I had to guess, I would say mid to late 80s maybe, but I don't really know. Supposedly it runs fine, but smokes a lot. And supposedly had a fuel leak from the carburetor. I wanted to see the smoking for myself. So I tried to start it. I could not get it to start. Okay, it's the next day. We've had a chance to do a little research. Going by the VIN number, we've identified this as a 1983 ATC 185S. We've also done a little checking. And if you can see that little lever on the side of the cylinder right there, that's a compression release and is disconnected. There's supposed to be a cable that runs from that over to the recoil start. So when you go to start the thing, it automatically engages the compression release to make it easier to start. The parts are missing and they are hard to find and expensive. So we're going to assume that it's unnecessary. And I also did manage to get it into neutral, and we do have spark. I was not able to get it to start, but I'm going to try again, just squirt a little gas in it, see if I can get it to take off. We'll see how that goes. Alright, so here's where we're at with this thing. In order to run, it needs to have fuel, compression, and a spark. It's definitely got good compression. It's definitely getting fuel. It is getting a spark, but it's extremely weak. You can barely see it, and sometimes there is no spark. So, all I can do is go through the ignition system and look for bad connections. I mean, the timing is correct. The coil is generating a spark. But I'm finding all kinds of things like this right here. There's a bare spot on this wire that comes from the CDI. There was this protector that was on the wiring, but it's nowhere near enough to cover it. So you've got wiring rubbing against the metal, chafing through. You got a wire harness here that comes up from the stator that's just been wrapped with electrical tape, so I don't know what's inside this. So I'm going to go through, fix all the bad connections, check all of the wiring. And here you got tape somebody's been into all these different electrical components and has got the wiring kind of half-ass put together. So I'm going to go through and make it whole-ass put together, and then see what we get there for ignition. This is your carburetor. The main problem you had is that the float in here was sticking. So it was letting fuel just keep running into the carburetor even though the bowl was full and you didn't need the fuel. So it's overflowing the bowl. There's a vent probably right here it was coming out of. Plus also it was running down into your air cleaner box. So what you've got is a leaking, either your float is sticking or you've got a leaking inlet needle and seat. Sometimes you can fix those just by taking them out and cleaning them. Sometimes you can fix them just by tapping on a ball and you get it working. But I also found this is where your carburetor mounts to the intake manifold, and somebody has goobered up your, there's an O-ring here that somebody has goobered up with silicone. And I think they've done that because it's the wrong size O-ring. But in any case, that tells me it's been leaking here. So what I'm going to do is get a carburetor kit, and we're going to go ahead and rebuild the carburetor. At this point, it's almost not worth rebuilding carburetors anymore because you can buy a brand new carburetor for about 20 bucks, 25 bucks. But the problem is it's a Chinese knockoff. Well, there's a problem right there. That was in your fuel line. And a lot of them are just very poorly made. This is a Keihin Japanese carburetor. I'm guessing it's the original one that came on the bike. So I think it's worth fixing or rebuilding. The other thing I noticed, here's the fuel bowl right here. This is your fuel drain. This is for emptying out the fuel bowl if you think you've got some water in it, or at the end of the season, you just open that screw, and that's the valve that lets fuel come out through here. Why somebody felt the need to put a sheet metal screw in the end, I don't know. But they would have been better off if they had taken the sheet metal screw and screw it into the center of their forehead, because it doesn't do any good in your vent line. So, in any case, that's one of the things we take apart. Alright, just like magic, carburetor rebuild kit showed up. And hopefully it's the right one. And it's got all the stuff. That wasn't included with the kit. This is valve grinding compound. And what I usually do to clean up the inlet needle seats, I put a little bit on a Q-tip. And just give it a spin in there to polish it up. Then you have to clean it.
.927 FM, The Drive.
Okay. What the hell is that now? back on the sprocket because it fell off. So hopefully I can do that. Okay, switch is on. There's the choke. Choke is closed. Put the choke on halfway. Okay, choke is off. No smoke. Hand brakes work. Foot brake works. Headlight works.